Okay, welcome back to molecular biology. We're going to be going over mitosis and meiosis today. So first, we're just going to talk about general cell division. So why do cells even divide? Well, there's two reasons, for repair or for reproduction. For repair, cells divide to form new somatic, also known as body cells. And some examples of this are skin cells or muscle cells. And then for reproduction, the single-celled organisms are the ones that do this. So some protists and some fungi. And the cell cycle simplified in 3 steps is number 1, cells grow, number 2, cells prepare for division, and number 3, cells divide into 2 identical daughter cells. And some vocab you should know, chromatin is the loose strands of DNA found in the nucleus when the cell isn't dividing, and chromosomes are the condensed DNA that carry genetic information. So this is just as I said, there's the 3 stages, and then the actual cell division happens here, as you can see in the picture, and this is mitosis.
So mitosis occurs in 4 stages, and it's important to remember the phrase PMAT, which helps you remember like what order the 4 stages are in. So the 4 stages are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, and mitosis creates it creates 2 identical nuclei, and it takes about 1 hour.
All right, the first stage, as mentioned before, is prophase, and this is the longest phase, so it can take about 15 to 30 minutes. This is where the chromosomes become visible and the nucleolus disappears. The nuclear envelope also breaks down, and centrales separate and take position, and they can form the spindle, and this is where these are special fibers with chromosomes.
And the second stage of mitosis is metaphase, which takes about 20 minutes. And during this phase, the spindle fibers will attach to the centromeres of the chromosomes, and it will help the chromosomes to line up at the center of the cell.
And then the third phase is anaphase. It only takes about 3 minutes. And this is when the chromatids separate and they become individual chromosomes, like you can see in the picture. And the spindle fibers, these blue things, pull the individual chromatids to opposite sides of the cell. And then on the bottom left, this is a picture of the chromatid.
So the last phase is telophase, and telophase takes about 10 minutes. And this is when chromosomes unravel into chromatin, and the nuclear envelope that broke during prophase reforms around each chromosomes. Telophase and nucleolus become.
Okay, so that was my mitosis, and now we're going to go into meiosis. So meiosis is a special cell division that forms gametes, and it forms 4 different haploid cells, and a haploid means it has just one set of chromosomes. And there are 2 divisions that happen in meiosis.
Okay, so during prophase 1, the sister chromatids will form and the nucleus will break down. And it will also form spindle fibers, and tetrads will form during synapsis. And tetrads are a pairing of duplicated, homologous, or matching chromosomes. And during prophase 1, crossing over will also happen to the tetrads, where pieces of DNA will break off and trade pieces.
All right, and then metaphase 1 is where tetrads line up across center of cell, as shown in the image below. And then anaphase 1 is where tetrads split and they duplicate homologous chromosomes separate. So they're still in sister chromatid pairs, and this is also shown by the image below.
So telophase 1 comes after metaphase 1, and this is when the first division occurs, and the two daughter cells form, and each cell contains 2 copies of the same set of chromosomes.
Okay, so then in meiosis, meiosis has 2 divisions, so it goes through this again. So prophase 2, this is when the spindles attached to the sister chromatids in the nuclei break down, just like what happened in prophase 1. And then in metaphase 2, the sister chromatids line up across the center of each cell, and you can see this in the image below.
Okay, and then anaphase 2 is where the sister chromatids are pulled apart and moved to opposite sides of the cell. And then telophase 2 is where 4 new nuclei form, the cells split. There are 4 different haploid cells form gametes. This is where each cell has one kind of each kind of chromosome.
Okay, so now we're going to compare the 2 cell divisions. So mitosis, it's done by somatic cells and it's done for somatic cells and asexual reproduction, and it has just 1 cell division, and the end result are 2 identical daughter cells and 2 diploid cells, which are a complete set of homologous chromosomes. Meanwhile, in meiosis, it's 4 sex cells or gametes, and there are 2 cell divisions, and the end result is 4 different daughter cells, and it has 4 haploid cells, so it has half the number of chromosomes as regular somatic cells. Thank you all for coming.